Multistrada. In Italian, the word multi means many and strada means road, so Multistrada means many roads. A name that embodies an ambitious promise, the challenge of giving all motorcyclists a sporty yet versatile bike that can safely and strongly master any road condition. Many roads. 18 years and over 110,000 motorcycles produced have seen us committed to extending the scope of use of the Multistrada. In 2003, the first Multistrada was a very sporty bike suitable for road use, with an engine with a lot of torque. In 2010, we introduced a motorcycle with several improved features in terms of comfort and aerodynamic protection, much more power, and in particular made it the first bike in the world with riding modes. We called it 4 bikes in 1. In 2015, we introduced the 1200 DVT, the first bike in the world with variable valve timing on both the intake and exhaust camshafts, where we focused mainly on engine smoothness improvement. But which were the turning points of such an established project? Which objectives did we set to define the new generation of the Multistrada? We wanted the new Multistrada to be more performing but easy to ride. We wanted it to be stronger but lighter. We wanted it to be more versatile and comfortable but effective under all conditions. In other words, we wanted this to be the best Multistrada ever. The features of the new Multistrada V4 make it particularly suitable for sport use because it is light and compact, because it has a 170 horsepower engine and many electronic control systems that make it a truly excellent bike for mixed use. Never, as in the Multistrada V4, has touring use been taken into account throughout the entire product development process. The engine can cover 60,000 kilometers without a major maintenance interval. It has a particularly comfortable seat and aerodynamic components. The adaptive cruise control system allows even monotonous motorway journeys to become a much more relaxed and pleasurable and fun experience. The navigation system integrated with the smartphone transforms the riding experience as well, and the lighting system, the headlight and the tail light, really do offer greater safety and comfort. The enduro riding mode is enhanced in the Multistrada V4. The engine can be positioned higher up in the frame so streams can be crossed more easily. Also, you can move back and forth in the bike with great ease thanks to the shape of the seats. The electronic suspension has been carefully set, and the smoothness of the engine and gear ratios make this riding mode particularly pleasurable. But of course, in developing the product, we also took the urban use of the vehicle into account. The bike is very easy to handle, and the flexibility and smoothness of the engine help a lot in city use. The new Multistrada V4, more Multistrada than ever before. The new Multistrada V4, ruling all roads, has never been easier. A bike that combines the pleasures of sporty riding on asphalt with the possibility of off-road use at the same time, comfortable for touring and everyday use. As with all Ducati products, the shape follows the function. The work on the Multistrada V4 was strongly influenced by its technical soul. The large surfaces were worked on by aerodynamics and innovations in the chassis and frame to achieve a result that is both rugged and refined at the same time. To also visually increase the feeling of robustness, we worked with the bike body to compact the masses within the wheelbase. Panigale-inspired DRLs make the Multistrada V4 very sporty and easily recognizable. The volumes of the body are deliberately unbalanced towards the front. In particular, the 22-litre tank contributes to this unbalance. The central and rear parts of the body are particularly slim. Standing riding was carefully considered during development, and this is visible from a number of details. For example, the rear foot peg holder plates are very slim to allow an optimal off-road use of the bike. At the center of the bike is the engine, the heart, the new V4 Gran Turismo. It's an extraordinary engine for a top-of-the-range dual bike. 1200 displacement, almost 13 kgm of torque, 170 horsepower, 67 kilograms, truly a small and compact engine. This engine already holds a record in the motorbike world, 60,000 kilometers from the start to the first major maintenance interval, which is the valve clearance adjustment. This is a truly important feature for a bike destined to cover many kilometers. This engine weighs only 66.7 kilograms, 1.2 less than the 1260 it replaces. The engine is very compact. It's about 10 centimeters shorter both in height and length, and only 2 centimeters wider. This extreme compactness is the basis of many technical solutions that have been implemented on the vehicle, such as, for example, a very specific weight distribution and a layout with a particularly effective seat position. Once again, the engine is the real heart of the bike. An engine with a lot of grit, 170 horsepower and almost 13 kgm of torque, but very soft and smooth at low RPM, rich in torque at mid-range and really exciting at high RPM. No detail has been overlooked in the design of the engine and to ensure that it is as suitable as possible for dual use. For example, the gearbox has been specifically adapted with a shorter first gear and a longer sixth gear than, for example, the Panigale gearbox from which it derives. The first shorter gear is extremely important for both city and off-road use, while the sixth longer gear allows you to deal with long highway journeys at lower RPM and therefore lower fuel consumption and greater comfort. The V4 Gran Turismo also takes advantage of all the technological solutions developed by Ducati in the MotoGP Championship, including, for example, the counter-rotating crankshaft, which improves handling and therefore also reduces effort, even when the bike is fully loaded, and the twin-pulse firing order, which optimizes traction and offers the secondary but welcome side benefit of a very characteristic exhaust sound that distinguishes Borgo Panigale's V4s. The electronic package of the new Multistrada V4 represents the state-of-the-art in the motorbike sector in terms of performance, safety, connectivity, and comfort. The electronic package is totally devoted to the rider, with cornering controls such as ABS, wheelie control and traction control, and skyhook electronic suspension, introducing the auto-leveling function in the Ducati world. As the rider and passenger weight increases, the vehicle is automatically brought back into setup condition, and vehicle hold control that helps in uphill starts. The Multistrada V4 can also be equipped with tire pressure sensors. As for the headlight and taillight, they feature the latest generation LED technology with, of course, also the cornering function. A novelty in the Multistrada world is the presence of the DRL, which is a very characteristic shape derived from the Panigale. A new feature of this Multistrada is the 6.5-inch instrument panel. This shows a really significant amount of information and is controlled with a new switch with joystick function. This new switch is part of a set that also features all the backlit symbols, ensuring better interpretation even while riding at night. For the first time, the 6.5-inch display has a multilingual configuration. A very interesting feature of this 6.5-inch instrument panel is the possibility of being integrated with a navigation function. In practice, thanks to an app called Ducati Connect, you can connect your smartphone with the instrument panel and see, without having to add any additional tools, the map, the route and instructions. Being a fully connected navigator, it is constantly updated on traffic situations and changes in journey times. The Ducati Connect app allows mirroring not only of the navigation system but also other apps. Both mirroring and connection are via the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth systems, so the phone can be easily and comfortably kept in the pocket of your jacket, or alternatively stored in the space above the tank, which also houses a USB socket to keep the phone charged, and this proves particularly useful on trips and long-distance journeys. The Multistrada V4 is also the first bike in the world that can be equipped with a dual radar system, front and rear. The radar positioned in the front controls the operation of the adaptive cruise control, which by means of controlled braking and acceleration maintains a distance to the vehicle in front. This car-derived system has been specifically developed for two-wheeled vehicles. For example, braking is always progressive, specific to the user and the use of the bike. The rear radar controls the so-called blind spot detection function. What does that mean? It means that a flashing indication appears on the mirror when a vehicle is approaching from behind, in the so-called blind spot. The bike also features an advanced function which we call the Blind Spot Detection Plus, warning the rider when a vehicle is approaching from behind at high speed with potential danger situation. So both systems, front radar and rear radar, allow safer journeys to control the rear and ensure greater comfort. The engine is the heart of the bike. The electronics, its intelligence. The chassis, its skeleton and muscles. The Multistrada V4 has been developed looking for the best balance between road characteristics and off-road use. But ease of use was the motto for all engineers. But let's take a look at the characteristics of this new Multistrada V4. The central part, the frame, is made by casting, so it has a monocoque frame that directly connects the engine to the steering head. We've got a double-headed swinging arm, a trellis rear subframe, a 19-inch front rim, a 120/70 tyre at the front, and a 170/60 at the rear. Suspension travel is 170 mm at the front and 180 mm at the rear. Thanks to a particularly light engine and careful design work on every single component, the dry weight of this new Multistrada is only 215 kilos, meaning over 10 kilos lighter than the average in the travel enduro sector. Our engineers worked hard to offer a level of comfort for both rider and passenger in terms of aerodynamic protection, vibration and segment-leading intake and exhaust sound. The body shapes of the Multistrada V4 are the result of a collaboration with Ducati Corse racing engineers. Many numerical simulations were carried out, as well as wind tunnel tests to exactly define these surfaces. A great deal of energy was devoted to optimizing thermal comfort through the creation of a series of ducts that ventilate the side of the tank, or the use of techniques such as deactivation of the rear cylinders that switch off when the bike is at idle speed. But let's talk about acoustic comfort. Thanks to a particularly efficient aerodynamic study, well-designed intake and exhaust silencers, and also remarkably silent mechanical parts, this bike is certainly at the top of its segment. A very important feature of the new Multistrada is a very low level of vibration. This is ensured by the layout of the V4 engine and on a careful optimization of the mechanical parts. The extreme compactness of the V4 Gran Turismo engine has made it possible to develop the new Multistrada with a particularly interesting seat height. In fact, the standard seat can be positioned as 840 or 860 millimeters, but the bike can be equipped with a lowered seat which, however, still maintains 50 millimeters of foam, bringing the seat height down to 810 millimeters. The bike can also be equipped with a seat with increased thickness, raising the seat up to 875 millimeters from the ground. The riding position has been carefully thought out. The seats are flat so as to allow longitudinal movements to increase comfort during long journeys. The rider's seat is narrow so you can rest your feet comfortably on the ground. Another extremely interesting feature that always comes from a very compact engine in the vertical direction is the increased ground clearance. 220 millimeters, which means 46 millimeters higher than the Multistrada 1260. This obviously proves especially useful in off-road riding. For a bike of this category, passenger comfort is certainly very, very important, and great attention has been paid by the engineers in the development of the Multistrada V4. The passenger seat padding is 25 millimeters thicker and the lower part 40 millimeters longer. The seat is wider at the rear, the handles are more comfortable to reach, and there is more legroom for the passenger when the bags are fitted. But what's it like to ride this bike? Alessandro Valia, our most experienced test rider, is enthusiastic about it. Multistrada V4, I renamed it the bike that travels alone. Its ergonomics are perfect, you can find each control exactly where you'd like it, and when you ride in touring mode, you just wish the journey would never end. And when you decide to go faster, all you need is a click. When I switch to the riding mode Sport, everything turns red. Andrea Rossi, recent winner of the Trans-Anatolia Rally, certifies its off-road behavior. The emotions that this motorbike is able to convey go really deep. You'll experience all this as Multistrada V4 is really fantastic, truly versatile, both on-road and off-road. Different roads, customers who like riding the bike in the most varied situations. This is the Multistrada V4, many configuration possibilities for our customers. The Multistrada V4 comes in red, the version for those who love the 170 horsepower engine and the 215 kilo weight. The central model in the range, the V4S, will be available in red as well as in a color called Aviator Grey. The Multistrada V4S features a higher level of equipment. As for the chassis, there are 330mm front discs with Stylema monoblock calipers and Skyhook electronic suspension with auto-leveling function. And for the electronics, there is a 6.5-inch instrument panel with Ducati Connect and Sygic navigation system, a LED lighting system, headlight and tail light. The headlight also features the cornering function. A fully complete electronic package. The Ducati Multistrada V4S can be ordered with both alloy or spoked rims. The Ducati Multistrada V4S also meets the needs of a wide range of customers. That's why we have designed a new package of configurations that can be ordered directly from the factory. Let's start with the essential configuration. Firstly, the travel outfit features side panniers, center stand, heated hand grips and heated seats for both the rider and passenger. Secondly, the travel and radar version, where the front and rear radar managing, the adaptive cruise control and blind spot detection functions are added to the travel package. More sporty customers will be pleased with the performance version that offers the Akrapovic Euro 5 approved silencer and a carbon front mudguard. And finally, for the most demanding customers, a full version is also available, containing all the options described above. In addition to the Multistrada V4 and Multistrada V4S, there is also a Multistrada V4S Sport, offering a dedicated bold livery and the performance package as standard, i.e. Akrapovic exhaust and carbon front mudguard. The V4S Sport version, of course, can also be ordered in full configuration. So, many other configurations of this Multistrada V4 produced in Borgo Panigale. But for those who want something even more specific, an important series of accessories has been developed for each one of the reference worlds. 170 horsepower, a torque of almost 13 kgm, a 215 kilo dry weight, 60,000 kilometers before the first major maintenance operation. Ruling all roads has never been so easy.
The roads to ride are infinite, the smooth and winding ones, the ones that crumble and the ones that are covered in dust, through the water and across the mountains. They don't even have to look like a road. You ride, you decide. New Ducati Multistrada V4. Rule all roads.